Thank you very much for being here. I hope this evening will be life-changing, or just bring some new ideas maybe, or just to go a bit deeper into relationships, which for me has always been that big question mark. I never really had a good model of what a good relationship was. And after many, many years, I copied my mother. By the age of 30, I had 3 major relationships, and they were just a disaster. They were just a disaster. I was completely heartbroken. I had a sense of that I just had lost myself. At the age of 30, I said, I can't do this anymore. I give up. Just relationships are just not for me. You know, I can just have an easy life. I was really enjoying my career, my job. I had lovely friends. So I said, okay, well, I think this is enough. I'm happy with this. But one day I was just doing some throwing away old stuff, and I found this bunch of letters and journals that I used to write. So I started to read these journals. And I had a journal of my first relationship, and I read that. And then a journal of my second relationship. So I read that. And then a journal of my third relationship. And I read that as well. And I was shocked, because in every single relationship, what I wrote was the same. I felt the same. And I just didn't know what to do with this information. You know, I knew this meant something, but at that point, I just didn't know what that meant. So after I reflected, and I just really went inside, I realized that my whole life I was blaming these men because they were making me feel this, and they were this and that, and I was poor me, a victim. I was a good person, a good girl. How come all of these things were happening to me? So what I realized was that what I said they were making me feel, I already had. The feelings of being controlled, being rejected, put down. I mean, I'm sure you can identify with a lot of these things. But then what I realized was that these feelings, they didn't start just with my relationships. They started many, many, many years before, in my family environment, in my relationship with my father, in the relationship between my father and my mother. So this was like a big moment for me. I had this really important information, and that was great. But now I had to ask the question, okay, what do I do with this now? So something happened inside myself, and I said, okay, I'll have one more relationship, and this one has to work. There's no way this relationship is going to fail. I'm just not going through that again. I'm going to do everything that is possible for me for this relationship to work. So put the intention there, and we all know the universe is quite good at bringing forward all of those things. So the universe brought me someone. And, you know, when they say you get what you ask for, I really got what I asked for. I had the opportunity to be in this relationship with a man where I could really explore and heal all of these wounds that I had. And this might sound pretty nice, but it's not really that nice. It takes a lot of hard work and awareness and commitment to loving myself, to be in a loving relationship, and to create that. So what I realized was that in any given relationship, when we're talking about an empowered relationship, there is me. It's very important that I don't lose my identity. There is the other person, and it's very important that they don't lose their identity. And then it's a relationship, the energy that we both create together. It's a co-creation. And this is something I never knew before. I never co-created in a relationship before. My style was, I enter a relationship and I just lose myself. I had no sense of who I was. I completely give myself to the other person. So I learned that. So what I'm going to do here today, I'm just going to give you some basic information on the theory and the philosophy that I follow, which is based on my own experience. So I'm sure a lot of you are aware of our energy field, how we have a physical body that we can see and touch, how we have an emotional body where we hold all of our feelings, emotions. We have a mental body where we hold the thoughts, belief systems, and we have a spiritual body where we hold spiritual lessons, karmic energy, spiritual imprints. So all of these layers are connected, and we can't really look at a person individually. As Max said before, I've studied all of these different layers because I believe that they all need to be integrated. I can receive healing in my spiritual body working through my physical body and vice versa because they're all connected. But sometimes if we're only focusing on one of those bodies, let's say if we're only focusing on changing our beliefs, when we change our beliefs and when we change our thoughts, we are changing the way we're feeling, and we're also changing the way our body feels or behaves or moves. But what about the spiritual layer? If we just start at the mental layer. So what I found in this work that I'm going to present here is that a lot of the wounds that we hold, they're actually stored in the spiritual layer. And yeah, of course, they create thoughts, and those thoughts create emotions, and those emotions create physical symptoms. So we're going to look at the person as a whole, absolutely looking at every single area and aspect of ourselves.